Johnny Cage is a fan-favorite character who appeared in the very first Mortal Kombat game, but when it comes to NetherRealm games, he's especially frustrating. Today, I'm going to show you why Johnny Cage has broken more controllers than any other Mortal Kombat character, which means I get to cover every NetherRealm game. So without any further ado, let's begin. So of course we're starting off with Mortal Kombat 9, and I believe in this game, Johnny Cage may have claimed more controllers than any other NetherRealm game he's featured in. And the main reason why is his crazy offense combined with an actual glitch that gives him an unfair advantage, and it's completely random. So first up we have this string right here. Might not seem like much, but this string is plus. In fact, it's so plus that it guarantees this move, and once I make you block this, I can do the entire string, and look at all that block damage. Let's put the whole thing together. Jump and punch, guaranteed. Yeah, all that block damage was guaranteed. And already we're approaching 10% block damage, which is crazy because no meter has even been spent. Oh, that's right, Johnny Cage had this, EX Force Balls. This is plus on hit, and you guessed it, it's so plus that it guarantees this string again, which you can end like this and get guaranteed block damage. Or in other words, if Johnny Cage makes you block this knee and has one bar, he can do this. And look at that block damage. That's over 10%. For just one bar of meter, it was guaranteed. You could not do anything about that. There's no gaps. But uh-oh, did you forget about this string right here? Because this string guarantees this string, and if you force the enemy to block a jump and punch, you can jail them into blocking this entire string, because once they block the first hit, the rest are pretty much guaranteed, which means you can guarantee this, which means you can guarantee this, and then guarantee this one more time for a crazy amount of block damage. Let's see the whole thing in real time. Jump and punch guarantees this string, which guarantees this string, which guarantees the string one more time. Look at all that damage on block. Yeah, you were forced to eat all of that in many situations. In fact, one of the best ways to guarantee this pressure was a nut punch. And there are so many easy ways to combo into the nut punch. You can do it after a basic string. That's one way to combo. And guess what? The nut punch even restands the opponent when they're being juggled. And yes, that just guarantees more pressure. Because once you land the nut punch, the opponent is unable to move for a very long time. All they can do is block, which means you can jump over their head and guarantee the jump and punch anytime you land this nut punch. And as mentioned earlier, once the opponent blocks that jump and punch, you can guarantee this string, which guarantees this string, which if you have meter can lead to this, which guarantees this string one more time for a crazy amount of chip damage. It is not hard for Johnny Cage to rob you of 50% of your life after one combo into nut punch into all that guaranteed block damage. But now finally we have the craziest part, which I've discussed in past videos, but it's so ridiculous that it's worth mentioning again just in case any of you do not know about this glitch. You see, Johnny Cage is one of the few characters in this game with a poke that is random on block. That's right, this poke is sometimes just 0, which means you and the opponent are on even footing. If Noob Saibot blocks this and then does a faster move than me, he's going to win. However, sometimes this knee was not 0 on block. Sometimes it was plus 10. That's right, not plus 2, not plus 5, plus 10. This move was either neutral or so plus on block that you could not do anything. You would lose to this knee. Literally, every time you blocked this knee, it was a guessing game. If you dare pressed any buttons, you could just get hit by the knee again. And you did not want that to happen because when this string landed, it was so frustrating. And let me go ahead and show you why. I'm going to tell Noob Saibot to not block. If I land this knee, I can do the entire sequence, and look how close you are. You are right in my face, which means I can do it again, and you have to deal with it. Or to put it a different way, it guarantees the string again, which can lead to this, which guarantees this, and look at all that damage you just took. All because you wanted to press buttons after my knee and got hit by the whole sequence, which guaranteed more pressure. This glitch right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the #1 reason why Johnny Cage broke so many controllers in this game. Having random frame data on block is insane by itself, but the fact that it's plus 10 just makes things even more ridiculous. And did I mention this knee is 9 frames on startup? That is remarkably fast for a move that advances this far forward and in a game where you can cancel out of your dash. Now for the final nail in the coffin, let's say for some reason you just wanted to press buttons, right? You blocked the knee and you thought that luck was on your side. Maybe you're 0 on block and the game is being fair for once, so you want to take your turn back and press a button. Guess what? Johnny Cage has this. Yeah, that's right, his X-ray is a parry, and if you attack Johnny Cage with pretty much anything, a skilled player can get 50% damage at least. So yeah, that's pretty crazy, all because you wanted to press buttons when you thought maybe you'd be at neutral. He can do this parry and rob you of 50% of your life bar. And even worse, he can end that 50% combo with the nut punch, which guarantees the jump over, which guarantees this string, which guarantees this string. If he has meter, he can do this, and then he can do it one more time for even more guaranteed block damage. Edge. Yeah, Johnny Cage in this game is extremely frustrating, though believe it or not, he was never the best character in the game. He was always decent and very annoying to deal with, but he was never one of the best characters. Oh god, but next up we have Mortal Kombat X, and in this game, Johnny Cage was next level annoying. And that's because he has this string right here, the speed bags. If you've never seen this string before, then you're in for a treat. Because even though the game lists this as just 3 hits, guess what? You can just keep going. Yeah, you can just keep going up until 9 hits. You see, NetherRealm took mercy on the opponents, and after 9 hits, it just drops. You can keep hitting them, but the combo counter resets. So if you're playing Johnny Cage, then you want to do 9 hits exactly, and then cancel into the nut punch. I did 1 hit too many. Let me go ahead and count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. And of course, you want to do the meter burn nut punch. That way you launch the opponent for an extended combo. So yeah, you get the idea. You can do this move over and over again and get some pretty decent damage. And once you had the corner, things just got insane, because once the opponent's launched, you can just keep doing this over and over again. It doesn't matter if some of the punches miss, just keep doing it until the very last second, then cancel into the nut punch to restand. And yes, just like in Mortal Kombat 9, the nut punch is plus on block and guarantees this string right here. You can just do 3, 3, 3. Yeah, pretty annoying stuff. And of course 3, 3, 3 can be canceled into the force ball, which can be meter burn to be plus on block. As you can see right here, the low force ball is plus 4 on block, and the high force ball is also plus 4 on block. So once again, this nut punch guarantees this string. You can cancel this string into the meter burn force balls, which leaves you plus on block. Very annoying stuff. But real quick, just for fun, I want to do a punch combo, so pop, 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 pop. Oh, the nut punch didn't come out. Dang it, why did the nut punch not come out? It's right there on screen. Did I do it too soon? Dang it. Oh, there we go, 28%, let's go. If you want to try this combo yourself, just keep in mind it takes the game a while to catch up to your button presses, so you have to delay the nut punch, otherwise it's just not going to come out. I just want you to pretend you're the opponent for 1 second and getting hit by this string for 90% of the match, right? It starts combos, it extends combos, it's the same string over and over in the corner. Just imagine getting hit repeatedly by this move and how frustrated that would make you. But don't worry, it gets worse, because Johnny Cage can buff the damage on this string. Look at the damage it does now on 9 hits. Yeah, 22%. Before, I think it does around 15. Yeah, exactly 15%, but with the buff, it now does 22%. That's a pretty substantial increase, and just imagine the corner damage now. And if getting increased damage wasn't annoying enough already, it also does more damage on block. So all of Johnny Cage's stuff does more damage on block now. So for example, right now, Reptile is blocking, and as you can see, everything does 0.4. Let's do fist bump. What's the damage now? 1.2. That's 3 times the block damage. That's actually crazy. I did not remember it being that high. I did not know it was 3 times the block damage. And is it just for this string, or is it any punch? So that's 0.8. Yeah, it's any punches, right? So everything does more damage, but this string, it does 3 times more block damage. But every single punch seems to do at least double damage on block. That's crazy. But what about the kicks though? I don't think the kicks get a buff. They do! The kicks also do plus the damage on block. That's wacky, so he buffs his brass knuckles, but every single attack now does double damage on block. I did not recall that. Just for fun, have a look at Reptile's health bar here and see how long it takes him to get pushed back out of the way. That was a pretty good amount of block damage, honestly, and keep in mind, you can walk forward in between this, like little micro walks, and the opponent has to guess when the gap is coming, and it's not very easy to do, and if they extend buttons at the wrong time, they can still get caught, even if you're missing your punches. Or in other words, even once Reptile is pushed out of range of my punches, if he's not careful, he can punch inside the range of my fists and still get hit, and it'll be his fault. So now combine that with the damage buff on block, right? I'm varying my punches, doing 2 sometimes, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, and I'm walking forward a little bit in between, mixing up my strings even a little bit, right? Look at the block damage. Look how annoying that is. Once again, I'm not a Johnny Cage player, but hopefully I'm doing a good job illustrating why this character was so frustrating. And keep in mind, even at the tournament level, against some of the best players in the world like Sonic Fox, these punch stackers were tricky. And that's because when the game first came out, these first 4 punches were guaranteed on block. You could not backdash, you could not armor, nothing. Johnny Cage was guaranteed these first 4 punches. So as the opponent, you would just hold block, right? And wait for those 4 punches to end, but he could just do 2 and then walk forward a little bit, which reset the whole situation. Or he could do 3, walk forward a little bit and reset the situation. He could do just 1 punch, walk forward and reset the situation and just keep the pressure going. It was really tough to guess when he would stop and walk forward. And if all of that was not annoying enough already, his down 4 was ridiculous because it slipped under so many attacks. So a lot of the Johnny Cage players would just do the guaranteed 4 hits and then mash down 4, or 3 hits, then mash down 4. If you dare take your turn back with a fast attack, this kick could slip under it. Overall, Fisticuffs Johnny Cage was very annoying, and it's mainly because he could kill you with just this one string, right? right? It was super annoying on block, and if he hit you for any reason, he could do 9 hits total, then extend the combo with a nut punch, and then end the combo with a nut punch, and guarantee more pressure. And now finally, we have Mortal Kombat 11, and keep in mind, Johnny Cage has been nerfed in this game, so I'm going to do my best to explain how busted he was before the updates. When Mortal Kombat 11 first came out, every character only had 2 competitive variations, but at one point NetherRealm gave us 3. And for some reason they thought, hey, make Johnny Cage a keepaway character. I mean, there's not enough of those in NetherRealm games, and people love keepaway. They love being kept at full screen the entire match. Yeah, keep in mind before this point, Johnny Cage was an in-your-face whiff punishing character. He loved to stay at around this distance, and once you pressed a button, he would whiff punish you, throw a projectile, and then get guaranteed frame advantage. That was his game plan. But not Variation 3, baby. It was all about the keepaway, because the force ball was so good on hit and block that if you blocked this thing, he could guarantee the second one, and you just had to block it. No teleporting, no armor, just deal with it. If Johnny Cage had you at full screen, literally your only option was to walk forward and block in between each one, because keep in mind they hit mid, so you can't duck under these things due to the angle. And of course he also has the low force balls, right, which do hit mid, but some characters could crouch under them with certain attacks at certain distances, right? They weren't that big of a deal, but from further away they were super annoying. However, even so, they're still weaker than the high force balls, because the low force balls can be jumped over when you're further away, but not the high force balls. These things have to be respected, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Look how easy this is to play keepaway. And of course there's also a meter burn option, but unlike in the previous games, you don't have to commit. You can wait to see if it hits and then meter burn for the second force ball. So yeah, that's really frustrating for the opponent. And also, unlike the previous game, you can choose which follow-up you get. Depending on which direction you hold, you'll get a high or a low force ball follow-up, which is absolutely crazy. You can change the arc with the meter burn. That's impossible to dodge. But guess what? This crazy keepaway is only half the reason why people hated Johnny Cage in Variation 3. Because next up, we have the Rising Star. This move was an absolute menace, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you it was one of the best moves in the entire game. And the main reason why is how it behaves on block. Notice it costs 2 bars of meter, right? 1 offense and 1 defense. That did not used to be the case. Originally, it was just 1 bar of offense, just like any other special move. On block, this move has crazy pushback and is also completely safe, which means Johnny Cage could go for any type of whiff punish at all, and if you blocked it, he would just do this move and then spin the bar. Even if the string itself was normally unsafe on block, or at least a minus, it did not matter, because this move made it safe and pretty much reset the neutral due to all the pushback. And real quick, look at the spacing. This right here is exactly where Johnny Cage wanted to be, and I think before the nerf, it had a bit more pushback, which was even better because it was the perfect range for his back 3. But the craziest part by far is the opponent had no way to deal with this move. There was no gap for the follow-up, not even enough room for a flawless block, so Johnny Cage just got to have this every single time. And just look at the damage on block, and keep in mind the second hit is an overhead, which did catch some casual players off guard. Just like the past 2 games, Johnny Cage is a certified controller breaker in Mortal Kombat 11. His crazy keepaway combined with the annoying whiff punishing and the ability to always remain safe and reset the neutral was super frustrated and broken in this game. In fact, I would argue that Mortal Kombat 11 Johnny Cage is the best he's ever been in a NetherRealm game, which might be shocking considering all the stuff you've seen in this video so far, but just keep in mind the ability to control space this well and always be safe and rob your opponent of their defensive options was super strong in this game. But you know what? I still love Johnny Cage, and I hope in future games he's equally frustrating and amazing. Please leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video. It does help my channel out a ton, and then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.